All right, welcome everyone to the What's Left podcast. I'm John here with just Brad tonight. Jake is on vacation in Boston, Massachusetts. But we're broadcasting live on the Derealization Nation Media Network. Um, Before we get started, please do like and subscribe on YouTube, especially subscribe really helps out in the algorithm. There's just so much to get to. Virginia Giuffre's family speaks out about Trump's comments on the Epstein list, tariffs galore. We've got gerrymandering. We've got middle of the night votes. We've got all kinds of stuff. As this, but I want to start with as the situation in Gaza continues to escalate in even more jaw-droppingly, uh, just inhuman ways. Uh, in the middle, last night, Senator Bernie Sanders brought to the floor a resolution to end all arms shipments to Israel. This is offensive and defensive, which is important to note because many people have made the distinction, including AOC recently, which got her in a lot of hot water with a lot of the base, including us. Uh, so this is for the elimination of all those weapons, Brad. It was for all of them. We had a big vote, and they lost. It did not pass, and there's probably not a surprise to you there.
Nope,
No.
we don't have the majority. Plus, there's a couple of those Democrats that are so funded by APAC that there's no way they're stepping across that
Yep.
because they know they can either take this money from APAC or APAC will use that money tenfold to get them out of there to replace them with somebody that will take this money from APAC.
Right. Right. It's not that people. I mean, it's such big money. Somebody will take it. Um. So I've got uh a couple of videos though that kind of demonstrate the shift in the Democratic base that's been pushing this. Um. And actually, so it was no Republican senators obviously voted for it, but we did gain a bunch of new Democrats, which is very encouraging because it hasn't really happened yet. Um, oh, fuck me. Brad, I gotta pause it.
All right.
First clip I want to show is one of our least favorite senators, Elise Slotkin. I was gonna say something coy about it, but let's just be real. We don't like her. Um, she's really stumps hard for Israel. And here she's trying to do that on a show that she thought was going to be friendly to her. Um, but they ask real questions, and it's a little bit satisfying.
I would ask for a little bit of an open mind.
Well, what I would ask is, listen, I'm a YouTuber. I have my words. That's all I have.
Yeah.
But you're a United States Senator.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not the president, but you have power. So what are you going to do? Because so far what we've seen, I mean, you voted for some of the aid that's been used to massacre children and innocents. You have backed Israel, as far as I can tell, from your voting record at almost every turn. You voted for a definition of anti-Semitism that would, codify anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism. You voted as a member of the House to sanction the ICC for indicting Benjamin Netanyahu, who you just admitted is a war criminal, by your own words. So are you going to join Senator Angus King, Senator Bernie Sanders in saying no more aid to this country that is committing war crimes against innocent civilians?
I think the first thing, if you're asking about what to do with power, and I would offer that right now Democrats own nothing in Washington. So
don't play powerless with me. Not with me. You're a United States Senator. There are things I can do.
In terms of who runs our foreign policy, I just think it's interesting, right, that there was a ton of protests when Democrats were in charge.
There was a protest in Manhattan yesterday.
Okay. I think it's fair to say, just to be honest, that back and forth, like the number of protests that go on now versus before.
Well, they were part of your political coalition.
Well, that's
political coalition.
Well, that's not. I mean, Senator Slotkin, that's fair. Obviously, I'm here.
Yeah.
I was very excited for the Biden administration policy, and as you can tell, I'm very excited for the Trump administration policy.
Yeah.
So let's deal not in strawman, but me
Okay,
and
but
here.
in terms of what.
So she absolutely lit into her, and she goes on and she keeps going, and of course Slotkin doesn't commit to anything. And do you know where she was, Brad, the night of the vote?
Where the fuck was she, John?
On the Stephen Colbert show.
Of fucking course she was.
Yep. Absolutely. Didn't have the
Pandering.
fucking balls to show up and vote one way or the other. You know why I love her so much? Well, I mean, besides all of the obvious things, because Chuck Schumer actually likes her. Chuck Schumer thinks she is the future of the Democratic Party, which to me was like, I didn't even need to know anything else about her. Didn't even need to know nothing else.
Do you remember back when we were doing the debates? And I was like, hey, Slotkin's breaking down the debate.
Yeah, well, it was the State of the Union. She did the State of the
That's
Union.
what it was, State of the Union.
Response.
And I was like, oh, pfft,
yep.
barf. And here we go. She's proving it.
Oh my God. Yep, absolutely. You know, when we started the show, like we tried to be more pragmatic and very careful and measured. You know, but fuck all of that. Like it didn't take long. Like you can't hold back, man. Like you can't hold back. Because, like, first of all, who the fuck are we protecting here for real? You know?
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. So she's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah. Subi, I have $3.
Exactly. Flying fuck.
Yeah.
We're not getting sponsored. We're not going to be one of the Democrats' chosen influencers for the next election.
Right.
We'll be carrying Ken Martin's water or APAC money, so fucking forget about it. But even these guys here, this is the Pod Save America crew, also known as the Obama Bros, who would be considered probably, although back in the day, Tommy Vitor and Ben Rhodes joined Senator Bernie Sanders personally to try to stop funding Israel way back when Obama was still the president. But Obama's White House in general was not much better on Israel. Nobody has been, to be clear. But they take ownership of it, and there's a sea change coming in the Democratic Party. This is just interesting to hear.
And I don't think Democratic candidates should take money from AIPAC or vote to fund military support for Israel anymore. Like, I really don't. In this government, absolutely not. And that especially includes, I think, the next Democratic nominee for president.
Things I want to see Democrats at least calling for is cutting off military assistance to Israel. It's a rich country, by the way. They don't need our $3 billion a year. And hands up, right? Barack Obama signed a 10-year MOU for $3.3 billion a year. Like, so we're part of the problem here. Mm-hmm. Let's correct it. I would like to see talk about sanctioning Israeli government officials who use genocidal rhetoric or who talk about ethnic cleansing openly. We should support a ceasefire resolution at the UN. We should demand that international press be allowed into the Gaza Strip to report on what's happening without an IDF minder. It's insane. The press still can't go into Gaza and cover what's happening. And I also think there has to be a total mindset change in the Democratic Party. When the war ends, we are not going back to the pre-October 7th status quo because it's not where the party is. It's not where the world is. We're not going to shovel billions a year in military aid. We're not going to veto every effort to recognize a Palestinian state at the UN. We should not take money from AIPAC. And I will hold out hope for better political leadership in the US and in Israel. But we have to also recognize that the Biden era hug Bibi Netanyahu strategy has to be thrown in the trash can for fucking ever. Netanyahu is a bad actor. He's continuing a war for political purposes. He bombs Lebanon when he wants to. He bombs Iran when he wants to. He bombs Syria when he wants to. This is not a partner we can count on. This is not someone who is leading to calm and stability in the region, which should be a core interest.
At this point, cutting off military funding for a government that is starving 2 million people and advertising how they're ethnically cleansing the Palestinians seems like the least we can do.
Especially if we're going to head into a primary, table stakes. There's going to be no more military aid for Israel. So there will have to be a shift. And I do think that will mean putting far more pressure on Israel. And that's what I think Democrats want. By the way, that's what the country wants. And when you poll Israelis, they say they want a fucking ceasefire. Israelis want the hostages returned through a negotiated settlement. And by the way, that's the way in which the vast majority of hostages who were returned were able to be returned.
Yeah, your thoughts?
I just appreciate that, that could be a deal breaker at midterms or the next presidential election. Like, if you are still pro funding Israel, I'm not interested in what you have to say.
No, and that means you, Cory Booker. Like, no more. There's no amount of speeches that you can continue to give if at this point, this moment, like, is a moment of inflection. And if you can't stand up now, bro, you ain't going to.
Yeah. Cory Booker, you're a son of a bitch, bro. 25 hours you stood on the floor trying to pander to all of us just to fucking remind everybody that you're just a paid fucking puppet for APAC. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Lots of old white men on this list. Some of them extremely old. Can go anytime. Michael Bennett, Richard Blumenthal, Cory Booker, Maria Cantwell, Chris Coons, Catherine Cortez Masto, John Fetterman, Kirsten Gillibrand, who still is from New York and hasn't endorsed Mundai, Maggie Hassan, John Hickenlooper, Alex Padilla, the fuck, Gary Peters, Jackie Rosen, Adam Schiff, Chuck Schumer, Mark Warner, who once made a tuna melt in a microwave on TikTok, and Ron Wyden. So, considering that Mark Warner wasn't arrested for making a tuna melt in the microwave, should definitely reconsider arresting him now, I guess. But no, I mean, that's 17 senators that couldn't stand up to genocide. And if you're trying to tell me that you're going to be the party that's going to fight for me, the reason that you have such a low approval rating is because you won't even stand up for somebody who's starving to death. It's not.
Yeah. It seems so simple. And, like, even if they simply just wanted to pander, they don't have the votes.
Dude.
So, like, I don't understand do you really have to, like, cuck to APAC so tough that, like, even though we literally cannot win the votes, you still just won't make the vote? Like, I don't get it.
It's I don't know. It's really hard. It's impossible really to understand because it's nonsense. It's utter nonsense. I have to pause it one more. I think we should do more of that sometimes, because we've been pretty right.
I think so
on a lot
too.
of things. I don't think we should hold back as much. Like I was saying earlier, I think we were just a little too careful.
Yep.
We didn't know what we were doing.
We
still don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, but now I just let it fly. There's not much I won't say on here.
No.
I don't care. There's something crazy going to happen and we're going to get super, super famous and then shit's going to go terribly because they're going to pull up the old ones. Well, I'm like, Donald Trump's a fucking pedophile kid raper. I'm going to fucking jail.
Oh, shit. All right, here we go. So here's another clip from another one of my favorite podcasts, the I've Had a podcast. Jennifer is not as measured or pragmatic as the Pod Save America boys. She kind of encapsulates the spirit, I think, of us in the base a lot better.
The Democratic Party really, really wants to have moral clarity right now and be the anti-war party. Get together and tell AIPAC to go fuck themselves, period. You will see the base rise up and support you. This is a time to immediately recognize that this is a genocide, or immediately recognize that votes like what Cory Booker has done have facilitated this genocide. The Democratic establishment could do this. They could do it today. They could do it by tonight, but they don't because they are just as beholden to special interests as MAGA is.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's the whole thing. Like, just get this money out of our political environment.
Yep.
That's what I want. That's what I want my candidate to say. We're going to get the money out, which is like almost political suicide because then all that money will be spent to get you the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's the candidate I want. But yes, the money will then be used against you.
So I can split. I want to segue this one of two ways. I think I'm going to do it this way because in Congress today, they tried to pass the bill that will stop stock trading for members of Congress, elected officials, right? To include, at first, the president and vice president. So guess who threw a fucking shit fit about it? Old fucking orange turd himself. Our pedophile in chief, Donald J. Trump. Fucking threw a shit fit and tried to get the bill shut down, called Josh Hawley a second tier senator. And then, in classic MAGA fashion, Hawley shows up on TV and says, I had a nice talk with the president after he excoriated me publicly. And, through the fucking bobbling of the toes in his mouth, he managed to squeak out that they had carved out specifically not the president of the United States, but Donald John Trump and Jennifer Darlene Vance exclusively to be able to trade as much stock as they wanted to while they are in office. Future presidents, no, of course not, but just these two. Just like they did with the crypto bills, where they specifically exempted only one person. The level of deep throating this man's tiny penis that these people are capable of, Brad, is astonishing.
The limit does not exist.
It does not. Do you know how hard you have to suck to get that deep into your throat?
It's really insane that we're just allowing this shit to happen. Like, how is nobody standing up for, like, I don't know, American democracy and just being like, bro, this sounds crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, no one says, like, I would come out there and be like, hey guys, this is fucking crazy.
Brother, like, I think I could maybe even understand a little bit more of the, like, be a little bit more sympathetic to some of these people if, like, every now and again they're like, okay, that's stupid. I'm not going to do that one, right? Like, we're going to rename the United States of America Donald Trump's golf course. And everybody votes for it, right? Not one of them will be like, okay, this one's dumb. You could it's like it's performative art piece for all of them to like see how far they will go. And it's all to trigger the libs or whatever, but like y'all people you always start off with this shit like it's a joke and look at how they're reacting so that you can do it, right? It's the same, like you do this shit like with the Sydney Sweeney thing because you want to say shit like that, right?
Right.
So you want to make it seem ridiculous. Well, you want to make people feel like, oh, you're overreacting, blah blah. Fuck you, bro. I'm gonna tell you something. If that it should like if eugenics if eugenics in your genes bother, don't buy them. First of all, don't buy American Eagle. And second of all, like if you have a visceral reaction to things, don't let people tell you how to fucking feel. Okay?
Right. That seems simple.
That seems real simple. That just because they're okay with their fucking pedophile rapist in chief telling them exactly how they're supposed to feel, how high they can jump, when and where they could pop the toes in and out of their mouth at, like it doesn't mean the rest of us have to live that way. This is America, goddammit. This place was built on the idea that there is no fucking king, and nobody tells me what the fuck I can do. Okay? There are limits, sure. I can't fucking walk around naked in public, nor should I be able to. But I can goddamn well call the president of the United States a pedophile several fucking times in the past 3 minutes if I fucking goddamn well please. Because that's how this country works. That's what democracy really is, being able to criticize specifically the government. And the fact that we have no king. But all that only works if we have respect for the rule of law as opposed to the rule of man, which, I'll talk about that in my turn. But sorry, I went off a little bit there. But like it really bothers me, man. Like you're gonna carve out this guy in this congressional stock trading thing. And of course, demonizing rightly Nancy Pelosi. I'll open the door to you. Go ahead. But Nancy Pelosi is, you can't really call it corrupt because them's was the rules.
Because it's worse than that.
It is. Okay, you want to go first?
I mean, you know that I'm pretty anti-Pelosi,
Yes.
and I just don't like the whole thing is that if you have that opportunity, then let us make money with you or get the fuck out because it's ridiculous that you have the ability to insider trade
Sure.
and then we don't have that ability. So you're just cheating the system essentially.
Yeah.
So like there's a Twitter handle that simply follows Nancy Pelosi's trades.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because she outpaces every major hedge fund in America, bro.
Yes.
These guys literally their entire job is to make as much money as possible, and she's whipping their ass.
Yes.
She's killing them. It's not even close.
Yep.
It's not even close. She is 100% insider trading, and take it away from them. Let them play the same game that we're playing. Like you can't do that shit.
I agree. And I also do not like Nancy Pelosi. I just don't. And I always find myself in this awful position of having to defend her to a certain extent because and it's not because I agree that she's not like garbage, right? It is her and her ilk that sold people out from Clinton on. That's the Democratic Party that is responsible for capitulating, for becoming the Diet Republican Party for 40 years, right? Like they are responsible for that because they were doing well, because their friends were doing well, because they had enough people as until the wealth gap really exploded, like things were good enough that they could get away with it. And they were getting away with it. And she is a symbol of everything that's bad about Citizens United, right? The game was meant to be played that way. She became Speaker of the House. Not her qualification was she was the greatest fundraiser in Democratic Party history. That was her qualification, was money. She was AIPAC before AIPAC. She was bigger than AIPAC, right? AIPAC didn't matter if Nancy Pelosi liked you, okay? Like, she was the kingmaker because she had the money. The system is fucked. This bitch played it better than anybody has ever fucking played the game. She is the Tom Brady of the corrupt version of American politics that has existed in this country for 40 years, okay?
She's literally Tom Brady. She is the deflate gate of politics, bro.
She is 1000% it. It's not technically cheating.
Oh man.
But it sure is shady.
Yeah.
But you just wish that your team was as good at it as hers, right? Like people like us, the regular people, like ordinary everyday people, like you were saying, Brad, like what about us, right? Like you can't expect to sit back and watch you keep all the money, right?
We already pay you $175,000 a year.
Right. So we sit back, we watch you do all these things, and the selling point is well, we must do this because this is the way the game is played. And if you want democratic priorities, which we do, then this is how things have to be. That's how she sold it, and that was, technically correct. But when you continue to not provide the things, it starts to get old, right? Just like you and the rest of your crew. Schumer and Durbin and fucking Steny Hoyer. Steny Hoyer looks like the resurrected corpse of the guy who played Eddie Munster. Like he is so fucking old. And these people have had a certain amount of success in politics. And I don't want to take away from it, but their usefulness has long passed them by. And it has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with being out of touch and a fucking participant in the Citizens United version of American politics for more than 20 years. That's it. This thing has to pass, and fuck Donald Trump for trying to sneak out of more corruption. I can't believe that this is going to happen again.
It's just insane that his base doesn't see it.
No, they don't see it at all.
They're probably still talking about Barack.
100%. Whatever version of us that exists on the other side of the fucking black mirror that's talking about MAGA, right? They're 1000% still talking about Nancy Pelosi, but they're talking about how Barack Obama and QAnon and fucking pizza basements. Like,
well, on there, they're definitely saying Barack Hussein Obama.
of course. How could I forget his non-middle name, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, that has to go. But so here's another great one for you. So that they're passing the amendment to pay for the plane, right? The Qatari plane.
Yeah.
Nearly $1 billion, right? $1 billion in that we paid for our free gift. It's like a timeshare, right? It's basically free,
Yeah.
until you end up paying for the whole thing for the rest of your life. So it's going to cost nearly $1 billion. Chris Murphy tries to introduce one small caveat that says, when this is over, Donald Trump does not get to keep the gift to the American people for himself. That's all it says. And they just fucking... I mean, you know what happened.
For sure.
It's unbelievable. These
people like, absolutely not. But it's because they're afraid, bro.
Of what?
Of
this man
him.
can barely stand up. He shits his pants. He's pissing himself. He looks like an old fucking dirty pedophile, bro. What are you fucking scared of?
Because there is a cult following.
Yeah.
And they know that as soon as Trump says something negative about you, it's fuck that guy.
Bro, don't you have some kind of fucking limit though? Like
they don't. They don't.
I guess not. Like
it's the same. It's the same reason they dissented with the Fed vote yesterday, is because he's hoping that they'll eliminate Jerome Powell and he'll be the new chair of the Fed. Like they're like, oh, it hasn't happened in so long. Yeah, buddy's just trying to take Jerome Powell's job.
Bro, like rumor has it they're not even reporting inflation data. Like real inflation numbers aren't even out there, and even their best efforts to conceal the numbers still show inflation.
Yeah, it's impossible not to, bro. I grocery shop.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's impossible. Like, you could say whatever you want, but like, ground beef right now is really out of control.
It's ridiculous. Everything. I can only buy what's on sale, and things only go on sale when they start to expire.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got to live my life. Fucking viva la capitalism. Isn't capitalism supposed to be about choices? My choice is between the fucking beef that brought out tomorrow and the beef that brought out the day after that. You know what I mean? Like, those are my goddamn choices. I was saying this earlier too. It's like, what's the difference between us and we bail out so many of these goddamn corporations and banks. Like, the only difference is we don't end up owning them. We pay for them 7,000 times over. Like, the people own Citigroup Bank. Like,
oh, dude, it's disgusting. Over. Me and the guy at work today were actually discussing that. He's like, I don't understand why they don't just pay our mortgage for us for a year. Like, why don't they pay our rent for a year? Something? Like, they can bail out these farmers and banks. Why can't they just be like, hey, American citizen, you need a break. Your rent and mortgage are covered for a year.
Yeah, student loans. There's no reason not to just like.
It's so crazy. We just bail out farmers. We fucking fund fucking Israel, but they're like, make life easier for American citizens? Absolutely
Hell
not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Got to cut back on wasteful spending so we can spend $200 million on a gold-plated ballroom for the White House.
Have to cut funding for child cancer research. Definitely got to build this fucking ballroom.
Jesus Christ. It is just becoming so trashy in there. Like, this was like... when the Simpsons did their episode and Lisa gets elected president and she follows Donald Trump, right? That's the episode. And like the first joke is essentially just like they're just removing the golden toilets, right? That was the joke. Now it's the reality. That's fucked. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's just old people fashion, I guess. Gaudy gold all over.
South Park's got it right. It's Middle Eastern dictator all day. That's who he loves to hang out with. These fucking petty princes. And there's these guys there's like their money is like it's big, like for a corporation, but for a country, it's like whatever. It's all show. It's all flash. Fuck got everything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Fucking Great Britain could wipe all 6 of those countries out fucking tomorrow if they wanted to. You know?
Right.
He's just the worst, the absolute fucking worst. We gotta stop talking about him though.
All right.
But we're not going to. We are just gonna take a quick break so I can catch my breath. Yeah. So about American Eagle, joke or not a joke, it's fucking stupid, right? American Eagle's a trash brand anyway. It is and always has been. Motherfucking jeans. I've never had a pair of American Eagle jeans that didn't rip on me within the first fucking week of owning them. Now, when that was in style, it didn't make all that much of a goddamn difference. But I'm older now, and I don't need a fucking pair of jeans with a hole blown out in the asshole. So I'm not going to buy them anyway. Neither should you. Quit buying cheap garbage products and quit fucking buying products who capitulate to this fucking presidency. Just once they go Trump, stop buying their shit. You'd think it doesn't make a difference, but look at Target. We'll be back. Welcome back to the What's Left podcast. John here with Brad. Jake on vacation today. Brad, we went through some of the shit that happened this week. There's no way we can get to all of it, but it's time to polish one up, hold it up to the light, and let's talk about what your turn of the week is.
Mine, we talked about it last week, is the same because we really need to focus on what they're trying to do to us. Texas has now officially released essentially a map of the redrawing of districts to intentionally take away the voice of Democratic voters, which is terrible. And Gavin Newsom has responded by saying that he could do the same thing to California in favor of the Democrats to lessen the voice of the Republican voter, and that is also terrible. We are a democracy, and we should be treated as such. The Electoral College in itself is already wrong, so to now intentionally gerrymander our districts to where our representation in Congress through the House is disproportionately changed, effectively taking my voice away in a state like Ohio, and then taking the voice of my uncle away in a state like California. And our vote should count as one, regardless if you are Republican or Democrat. I don't believe in the Republican Party. I don't follow that at all. But they should be allowed to voice their opinion the same way that I'm allowed to voice mine. So to say that Texas is doing it, so we're going to do it, that's not the right approach. What we have to say is Texas cannot do this. We need to eliminate gerrymandering. And I know we talked about it last week, but now for American people to root for gerrymandering is such a far cry from American democracy, from America first. It's not. This doesn't make America great again. If that's what you're trying to do, taking away the vote of the people does not make a country better. Stripping the voices of the minorities does not make America better. And that is essentially what will happen if they gerrymander these states like this. Ohio is gerrymandered to fuck. I live in Ohio. It's gerrymandered all to shit. And they pumped so much money into our state for a special election just to make sure that we didn't elect the committee to eliminate gerrymandering. They pumped so much money into that special election, and they had people turning out if we do this, they're gonna turn it against us and this, that, and the other. And when really that's exactly what's happening. Right now, that's what's happening. The representation is so askew in the state of Ohio. So I really want people to understand what we're willing to give up by cheering for this. This is not the America that we were taught in school. That's my whole bit, dude. It's heartbreaking.
I agree. I submit to you, though, that the America that you knew died November 5th, 2024. I'm sure we all felt that after the election. And it has been proven true over and over again. So the crazy part about this gerrymander is that this is a gerrymandered state. This is a illegally gerrymandered map, right? That Texas is trying to defend in court, saying that no, it's not racist, right? So in the middle of defending this already racist gerrymandered map, they're going to do what has never been done in the history of politics: redistrict, right? Which is legitimate, has to be done. Districting has to be done. Gerrymandering is a process by which people cheat on redistricting. Well, it's not cheating because it's within the rules, unfortunately, where people will stretch the rules to dilute the voice of people, usually minority communities, and opposition parties. They do this now by computer, so they have very specific details about who votes how and when. So they can like literally just carve a single house out in a gerrymander. Keep moving down the block and pick no other houses. This house, not that house, this house, not that house. They really can't do that. It's insane how fucking intense this gerrymandering process has become. And they're going to do it regardless. When asked about this idea that California would redistrict, Mike Johnson said, "Oh, they won't do it. They have to follow the law." And that is just so unfortunate that, like, in this, we have created a political environment where following the law is not is not the preferred stance of what we want out of our politicians. This country is, again, built on the rule of law as opposed to the rule of man. And when we stop paying attention to the law, then we are threatened by rule of man, right? The people lose their power when the law loses its power. So this idea is horrific. That said, this is the game. This is the game. And it's gonna end up happening in every single state this next election, probably. The states are going to run to their corners. This is not a game that Republicans can win. And the thing is like, for all of that, like, it might not even do it might not do anybody any good. You know, it really might have not, because you really just can't fully predict elections. And another thing is there's going to be a lot of pressure. A lot of these incumbents are not going to want the strength pulled from their district to create a new district. So there is a possibility that governors sometimes push back. Congress people whose districts are nearby sometimes push back because they do not want the vote diluted too much around them, especially if they've taken an extreme stance in the past. You know, if you moderate their area in an effort to create a second area stronger for you, you could end up losing a seat. So it's not a perfect science. I would love to see it ended. And that's the pitch coming from Democrats right now, is that if we get this done this one time and we get power, we will end gerrymandering forever. Which is why we have universal health care, which is why, right? Which is why, yeah. Right. So we've heard this one before. So I don't know. Just like I didn't ask, just we'll go this, call back to Nancy Pelosi. Like, just, we have to play the Citizens United game. That's the way the game is played. If you want democratic priorities, you've got to let us do this. Yada yada yada. And then we get fucking milquetoast, diet MAGA, and
it's terrible. It's terrible.
All the gerrymandering can accomplish is just more milquetoast, diet MAGA.
That's all it is, bro. Everybody's just a centrist. in the Democratic Party. I don't care.
And
You're boring.
To be clear, the center here in America is like the far right in the rest of the world.
In the rest of the world, right?
Right. And our far right is a fucking Looney Tunes version of Benito Mussolini.
Right.
Right. The people in Europe wouldn't even consider letting near their children. But here we are. So yeah. That's a good update to yours. I like that. We're gonna keep keeping an eye on it, and yeah, God, I don't even know. I don't know how to feel. You got. I guess
we can't. It just destroys our democracy. It destroys our democracy.
It is. I guess the argument against that is just that it's already fucked. It's already fucked. It's fucked.
It's fucked.
We're gonna have to trust them, I guess. I don't really see what fucking goddamn choice we have. Anyway.
All right, what's yours?
Thanks, Brad. Well, right before I get to mine, I want to make sure that I remember to update this one. Jake's turn from a couple weeks ago was the nomination of Emil Bove for like a district federal for a lifetime position in a very important either district or appeals court. I don't remember which. But in the middle of the night, which is when fucking Republicans operate like the goddamn blood-sucking vampires that they are, passed him through 54-9, and he has officially been appointed for life as a justice or whatever the fuck position he is woefully unqualified for. So Trump gets another one of his sycophantic wins. Literally can't even pop the fucking feet out of their mouth to take a fucking bite of food anymore. It's crazy.
It's insane. It's insane. We're just watching like the good old boys club run rampant in America.
Yeah. To say, now I'm gonna get off track. I'm not gonna get off track.
All right. Stick on it because we'll be here forever.
Right. All right. So my turn this week is again, and these always seem to like run through these recurring themes within the show. But I'm going back to the two-tiered system of justice and this idea that Trump sold. There's a two-tiered system of justice, which resonated with a lot of people because there is a two-tiered system of justice. He's just not on the tier that we are. He's on the other tier. He's on the corruption side. And he's going to stay there. He was never going to fix it. He was just going to fucking rig it to make it even more fixed for him and people like him. And that's very obvious in the way that he immediately went in and fucking wiped out every anti-corruption law for campaign finance, the crypto bills, just everything, the CFPB, anything that is ever the National Labor Relations Board. My man hates National Labor Relations Board because he operated in New York City. Lots of union labor. He doesn't like to pay people. Unions don't let you not pay people. So he fucking hates the unions, right? He hates actually having to pay people. Hates it. So everything that he does, he considers not a crime. So he keeps pardoning these people with like the fucking was it Coinbase or whatever guy, right? That's like running one of his fucking crypto businesses now. He wants to he does this all the time. He normalizes these things. He did it with politics. Well, everybody's corrupt. I'm just out loud about it. And he does this, and now he's doing all these other crimes. Well, now he's trying to do it with fucking diddling kids too. He's trying to do it with fucking sex crimes as well. Because here he is talking about he's going to pardon Diddy, right? Here he is talking about he's gonna, I hadn't thought about it, but I could pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. Which I'm sure you've all seen a supercut of this at some point, where that's exactly what he says right before he pardons somebody. Every motherfucking time. It's like 2 weeks. The guy's a broken goddamn record. You all know what's coming every time he opens this goddamn mouth. So, in all likelihood, she's getting a pardon too, right? Because they can't risk. And then thinking about this, like, there's a lot of talk like, well, he's giving her the free out card with the courts and whatever and yada yada, while they skip. But at the end of the day, like they don't want this thing going anywhere near a court, because it's not just about protecting him. It is about protecting the billionaire class and all sex offenders. Because if sex offenders start dripping down, and these are all people that he hung out with, then it drags on him. So even if he didn't touch kids, which he fucking probably did, I'm not gonna lie. Like I just like the amount of nobody acts that guilty about something they didn't do. Like he is literally like kid with a fucking mouthful of chocolate frosting telling you did not eat the cake. Like he is that level of guilty right now. It just looks that way. Maybe the frosting came from somewhere else. I don't know. But anyway, so his comments the other day about how Virginia Giuffre was stolen from Mar-a-Lago. Remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was stolen from Mar-a-Lago. And Miss Joffrey, and I've heard it pronounced both ways. I wish somebody would fucking get it goddamn right and let me know what it is. If it's Gouffre or Dufresne, I don't even know anymore. But I wish they could settle on one. She died by suicide in April. Her family statement said that Mr. Trump's remarks raised questions about his knowledge of the crimes committed by Mr. Epstein and Miss Maxwell. Ms. Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence, blah, blah, blah. It was shocking to hear President Trump invoke our sister and say that he was aware that Virginia had been stolen from Mar-a-Lago, the family said. It makes us ask if he was aware of the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's criminal actions, especially given the statement 2 years later that his good friend Jeffrey likes women on the younger side, no doubt about it. We in the public are asking for answers. Survivors deserve this. And you're goddamn right they fucking do. And I brought up this before, but if you have let's take a young black teenager in Baltimore, and he lives in a neighborhood where gang violence is common. Maybe he's involved, maybe he isn't. He hasn't given a lot of options, given where he lives, about his involvement in things. And when a man is shot in front of him, he definitely doesn't have a choice, and having witnessed it. But if that young man decides that he doesn't want to tell the police what he saw, he can be charged and likely will be charged with obstruction of justice because he witnessed a crime and he did not help cooperate with the police, right?
Correct.
Every time. Here is a man who just the other day was running down a list of names who he says were on there, who he says he knows were back and forth to the island 28 times. Fucking some dude from Harvard or whatever. If he knows or suspects that children has suspected for over, I don't know how many years is this now, Brad? I'm really bad at math. It's been
too many
decades. And decades. Has known for decades and decades and decades of rich men abusing young women. And let's just say abusing young women, because I don't know, maybe even the ones that are under, there's probably ones that were of age who were also coerced, were also, I'd say, I don't know, raped. Like, God only fucking knows, because he's protecting them.
Yeah.
This would not fly if you were poor. This would not fly if you were not Donald Trump. Honestly, like, these guys are protecting each other. Gangs don't exist because of bad neighborhoods. Gangs exist because of gated communities. Do you hear me? Like, it is because of the insulation of the wealthiest Americans from society's issues that society crumbles. And it is the same with the system of justice. The reason the system of justice is fucking bullshit is because they are shielded from it. Brad, let's say you get arrested under suspicion of having done something tomorrow, felonious, right?
Yep.
and you get thrown in jail. Probably afford bail, right?
Yep.
You can afford a lawyer,
Sure.
right? That's two things that a good chunk of America can't afford, right?
Correct. Yep.
Sure. So you're already 2 steps ahead of the game, but you're
There were
still
times
not.
when I couldn't.
Sure. Right. Absolutely. Plenty of times you couldn't. But just for the sake of the argument, right now you could.
Sure.
And you're not in the. So does this put you in the upper tier? You might think so, but it doesn't, obviously, right? Why? Because if you get a lawyer, and whether you did it or don't do it, speaking from experience from having been a shitty person my entire life, they're going to tell you you can't afford to go to trial. It's usually like the second or third sentence out of a lawyer's mouth. They're going to shut you up real fast. I'm going to hear all your arguments, but you can't afford to go to trial. And they don't mean they can't afford to because you might not be guilty or you are fucking did it. Like OJ went to trial and fucking everybody knew, right? But he went to trial because he had the money and several lawyers and he got it done. 99.9% of America cannot afford to do that.
No.
Donald Trump was indicted 88 fucking times. Not only did he have the money to hire the lawyers and go to trial, he had time to obfuscate and pay his lawyers to make ridiculous, inane claims that had no business even being heard by judges. So, yeah, that's the point. It's just that it's an entirely rigged system. Not only has he not unfucked it, he's double fucked it and just continues to make it exclusive to him and his fucking cronies. It's just fucking pathetic to see, man. This country was established that the rule of law was better than the rule of man. Because the rule of man had been tried for centuries before it and always failed. And this is the experiment. Could people govern themselves? And 250 years later, I think most analysts would probably say no, it appears not. They cannot. They will quabble amongst themselves and gerrymander themselves out of relevance, you know, and give over power to the first orange moron that goes up there and says racist things.
Yeah.
Just you thought it'd be more complex than that, but it just isn't. All right. Well, I think that's it for this week for today. Wait for Jake to get back to do all the goodies. So check us
On
out.
Conspiracy Theory Sunday, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Our continuing series of conspiracies. Also, some newsy shit too, but just Sunday fun day. That's what we do. So join us then. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the Derealization Nation. Like and subscribe. Check us out on Substack, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. We are the Punk Rock Garage Band of Podcasts. Till next time, I'm John.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah.